welcome to the Mad Kitchen.
Yes, it is mad as ever.
I feel like I get airlifted.
Yeah,
I just like something about.
and we just arrived. No, it does feel like that. We were just having a discussion because...
I could be called Morg.
Yes, Nanu.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that for a long time. I used to get that all the time.
Weirdly, I've heard it twice this week. Maybe that's what was in my head. Anyway.
Oh yeah. In reference to...
So somebody hadn't heard it. Oh, I don't know. Rambling.
I used to do directory inquiries when I was a student, and you had 192, and you had to record a salutation. So your salutation would be dropping in as you were finishing another call. And there were so many people that would just go, "Oh hi, I'm Mork," or "Nanu" every time. I'm just like, "Oh gosh, not heard that
original."
Yeah. Anyway, so we're doing chili loaded fries, which I'm very, very excited about.
Today.
I'm really hungry too. Chili loaded fries sounds like it's like something that's really naughty, but actually, not
there's
really
nothing
good.
naughty.
No, I don't really. But
it sounds like it's something you'd have as a comforty, treaty, lazy, I would call it, or party. When people are coming around, what should we do? Chili.
Yeah, but chili can feel complicated, long process, and actually what we're going to be doing is chili within 20 minutes. We have already put the fries in the oven, so the fries are literally, and this is revolution in itself, chips don't have to be bad. Really, they don't.
They don't have to be raw either, and they don't have to go in a deep fryer pan.
They don't.
Or an air fryer.
Chip pans.
Or an air fryer.
Do people still have chip pans?
No, I think people have gone onto the air fryers, I think.
Oh, okay, because everybody used to smell off the chip pans, all their coats and clothes.
Everything.
You knew they had a chip pan at home.
And a chip pan
Sorry
fryer
if
was
you've got a
very
chip
dangerous.
pan. Yes. Used to have a wet tea towel.
That was the only thing that caused a fire, wasn't it, on the fire brigade advert?
Yeah.
Chip pan.
Yes, yeah, it was. It's very true. So these fries are literally...
Hi
Rachel, nice to see you here. These fries are literally 2 baking potatoes, because this is based on, again, two people eating. It's a baked potato each. So I was just like, this is revolution itself. It's a large potato. And then literally a teaspoon of olive oil and salt and pepper. You cut the baked potato into sort of fry-sized pieces and cook them for about 20...
chip shapes for me.
Oh yeah?
So weird.
Revolutionary again. You put them in the oven for 20-25 minutes and you have
so nice.
The most gorgeous chips.
The only thing I would say with the olive oil is I tend to, and I've started to, rather than drizzle my olive oil over whatever it is I'm cooking before I then put it in the oven, it only needs a half teaspoon, and you think half a teaspoon is never going to make that dish, potato, cake, whatever you've got in there, the pan, covered. But actually when you toss it in the bowl and add your salt and pepper then, and then put them on the tray, it's more than enough. If you go sloshing the olive oil that way, nothing wrong with olive oil, it's just going to have more fat and more calories than you potentially need. So it's just a tip really, just to pop it in and use exactly what it says, if not just a tiny bit. It's all it needs to coat. And I always pat my potatoes dry slightly, just because they can, depending on they can be a bit watery.
Cool. So the potatoes are already in the oven, chipping as we speak.
Just so we don't stand here and watch paint dry potatoes cook.
We're going to start on the chilli. So there's 2 parts to this. We're actually creating a chilli, but then there is actually a dressing that goes on top of the chilli, on top of the fries, that just gives it an extra bit of zing at the end.
It's the kind of meal you want after a night out, rather than going to the chippy.
Yes.
And the kebab shop.
Yes.
It's kind of like have it, and we often have this on standby on Friday or Saturday night. So it's kind of like when you have the munchies.
Yes.
That's what you turn to.
On standby. So what we're doing now is it 2 garlic cloves? Yeah, 2 garlic cloves crushed. There will be a teaspoon of olive oil going into the pan for the frying of the garlic and
I think there was a lot of of research going back to the potato. I think there's a lot of research before I maybe get asked the question. There was a lot of research that said, oh, you know, white potatoes are worse for you than sweet potatoes and sweet potato fries. And so sweet potatoes kind of really made an appearance on everybody's menu, and it's now, you know, have a sweet potato fry and it's much better than a white potato. Sadly, when you go out and have a sweet potato fry, it's normally got a very fake processed coating on it and has been deep fried. So actually isn't that great for you, because it's just a processed manufactured item.
A lot of the time they're out of the freezer, aren't they, and then deep fried anyway, so they're just taking on probably coating, but also probably taking on not very nice oils as well if they deep fry them in.
If you're out and about, I don't think there's any difference. Actually, there is no research is saying there is no real difference in terms of what it does to the glycemic index for somebody looking at blood sugars. They're saying that it's actually not making that much difference. There are different vitamins and minerals, and I think that a sweet potato carries different mineral vitamin properties. The other thing is to note that the larger the potato, the bigger the potato, the more starch there is in there. And you can see that when you have a great big potato and you wash it, there is more starch. If you boil a potato, the water is starchy. The starches are sugars. So new potatoes, for example, if you are, you know, thinking you could easily chop up, and we do this often as well, is chop up new potatoes and roast those like as little rosties.
Yeah.
So don't.
That's nice with garlic, isn't it? And thyme actually when you do it like potatoes.
Yeah, and I wouldn't sweat the small stuff. So I wouldn't get hung up on must have a sweet potato rather than a regular potato. When you're doing it yourself, it's a whole food from the earth. It's natural, as is the olive oil that you're putting on it, as is the way that you're cooking it. We can easily sweat the small stuff. You know, if you don't eat much veg and you think, what potato? Just have a potato. It's veg.
Yeah. So I've just finely chopped one white onion. I'm just crushing 2 garlic cloves, and they're all going into this teaspoon of olive oil, fried in the pan. And then you're also going to you're chopping a red pepper as well.
Yeah, lots of vitamin C.
Pepper. And adding the garlic sooner than it says. Come on.
I don't think it matters. I add it when it's ready.
Yeah. So 2 garlic cloves, 1 white onion finely chopped, and then I'm going to add the pepper, and then it's 300 grams of minced beef.
You could use, if you don't eat red meat, you could use turkey mince, chicken mince. You could use, I wouldn't necessarily suggest corn, processed soya. You could use, chopped, we call it sunflower mince, which is chopped mushrooms, but you really need to think about upping the protein in the dish. If you're only using mushrooms, you could use extra beans to up the protein. You could use chopped tofu, and what you like. But I like beef.
I like beef too. So I'm just adding, I've got beef, pepper and the onion in the pan. So frying all those off. I just need to make sure that I break up the beef so it all cooks through. I'm already desperate to eat this.
I like onion and garlic smelling.
Yeah, I have got watery eyes though. This is a stingy onion. So literally, I'm breaking up the mince. I'm going to cook this for 45 minutes.
425, not 45.
Oh yeah, said that a bit fast. 425. can't tell you how excited I am about eating this lunch.
I like these days.
Yes. My favourite kinds of days.
Oh, you're not using your own new stuff?
No, I never thought. It's in the freezer. Yes. But, Emma has just made a good point. Obviously, I did that really painful job of creating. It's actually chicken stock, to be fair, but it wouldn't matter.
Stop.
And then I'm currently using a shop bought stock, beef stock, because I forgot all about my chicken stock that we could have used because it's in the freezer. Oops. So, note south, defrost, chicken stock for future. Although also, I do need to defrost it because I do keep meaning to. I've drunk one mark, but I need to make sure I'm drinking some more because
Yes, it's very nice.
it's one thing that you were saying is obviously it's a natural collagen, so that you don't need all the funny powders and
Natural
liquids and stuff.
collagen, it's got glucosamine, it's got natural chondroitin, all of which are really expensive to buy, and people tend to have for bone health, aches and pains, joint and bone health. So if you don't want to make your own, then there are a couple of companies that make fabulous bone broth.
Including me. It was
We
just,
offer you
it
12 hours
literally,
service.
yeah,
There's a reason why it's expensive to buy,
It
because
was
it takes a long time.
12 hours of my life. I had to involve my husband in order to pull my pan because my pan was too big that I'd used, and I wasn't tall enough. It's definitely height, not muscles, as I said at the time. Yeah, it was a big job, but I since making chicken stock, I then went on to make a chicken. What did I make? Chicken with a vegetable
Papillon.
I can't say it every time. Which was basically steaming vegetables in the oven in greaseproof paper, and then
Very fancy.
indeed it was very lovely. And then a pineapple thing with nut brittle, which was very tasty. And then where I'm up to in this nutritional course now is that I am, I realise salt and pepper. I'm about to make healthy snacks, which involves crispy kale and chickpeas and some other things I can't remember. But funny, some ingredients are funny to me in terms of they oh yeah. They yeah, they're just not things. They're not natural. Yeah, you can't see, but we're filming on the side as well in wide angle, and there the door's open with cokes and boxes hanging there. It's not all as pretty as it looks behind us. Right, okay, so they're all fried up. I've added salt and pepper.
2 teaspoons of Cajun spice.
So 2 teaspoons of Cajun spice, which...
And the garlic could be added at this point, but we've already added that.
Freewheeling, doing our own thing yet again.
Mixing.
Oh, smells so nice.
I sometimes put a little bit of turmeric at this point, just because turmeric has really good anti-inflammatory properties. You don't need much, but it's just another way to add. And there's sometimes I might just have a tiny spot of apple cider vinegar when I add the stock, just again because that's got fermented properties. It's good for gut health. So they're just little things that you can add that you're not, there's stuff that's in the cupboard that are helpful to your health and well-being.
And then we need to add stock. So this is 250 millilitres.
So 200.
Oh, 200. Stand corrected.
Otherwise it'll be very sloppy.
So 200 millilitres of beef stock, and we're going to add
a tin of.
Or just say half a tin.
Yeah,
That
I
is-
need to put a full one in because what do you do
Okay.
with the other half? And there's
No,
nice
especially-
protein and extra vegetables. So I don't
Yes.
overdose on kidney beans.
Well, maybe you can overdose
You
on kidney
can.
beans.
Anyone?
Who knows? So a whole tin of kidney beans, because like you say, what you're going to do with the other half. Although you could add them to a salad later on, or on the other side.
Could.
But in a nicer in here. And also we need to add the passata, or the passata.
Passata, tomato, tomato.
Yeah. So it's 200 grams, I believe. So you've got to guess because that's a 690 gram jar.
Third. That's going to be hard. Not very good at distance.
Well, you'll be alright. You'll be alright.
What do you reckon?
I reckon a little tiny. Stop!
All the difference.
All the difference.
And without can't take away. Say it every time.
Yes. Well, so now, literally, with this now, it's going to simmer away and thicken up.
For about 10 minutes.
So while that's happening, we're then going to make the dressing for the top. So this pan is literally just like your chili's already here. Within 10 minutes, that's going to be edible, yummy chili. So the
You
topping.
could also put cumin in there as well if that's the flavour that you like.
How to say it?
Cumin.
Come in. Anyway, so the dressing for the salsa, I should say, for the top.
This is a salsa that just keeps giving, I think.
You can use it on loads of things, can't you?
Yeah, I always make extra of this, and it goes on top of everything.
Probably been in and out of the freezer as well, knowing you. Yeah, so it's 110 grams of tomatoes. We've used cherry tomatoes. A quarter of a lime.
They're quartered.
They're quartered. Here's some she quartered earlier. Look.
In the background.
In the background, yeah. So yeah, 2 spring onions, finely chopped.
Ta-da!
That's
Come on,
like
like a proper show.
everything, isn't it? Then there's a quarter of lime juice squeezed in.
What's your eyes?
Make sure it's not too winky.
And then coriander. Now we have a coriander gate in our house.
Oh,
My Poppy thinks it tastes like soap powder washing up liquid, and
Oh.
apparently that's a thing. I didn't believe her until obviously someone else said it.
right. So it's
But is
somebody's
it a
palate
thing?
that
Yeah, and then
makes
coriander.
Coriander. Who's coriander?
Coriander can often be not something. So we have to make 2 different sauces.
Okay.
So
well,
we
now
half the
we're going to,
coriander, but we're
going to add half of a handful of coriander.
How big do you have? There you go. Half of a handful of coriander because the rest is for garnish.
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 Okay.
Give it a whiz
Yeah.
and a pinch of salt.
A pinch of salt.
Simple.
Pinch enough. And that is literally the salsa. So now this is bubbling away.
We're done. We're just waiting for the chips.
Oh, just waiting for the chips. So, in terms of nutritionally, obviously this doesn't use as much fat as potentially other versions of chili. We've controlled how much oil's gone into it, but we do have obviously fats in the...
Fat from the beef. And the dietary fat that's within the beef, so that's got its own dietary fat. You know, great source of animal fat. It's natural, close to nature. Apologies if you don't eat red meat and that doesn't sit well with you. But in terms of protein, this is because of the kidney beans and the beef, it's well up there at over, it's between 40 and 50 grams of protein in this one dish. And as human beings, and particularly as females, we should be having between 35 and 50 grams of protein per meal. So this is a great way to get that in.
And what's protein doing? Why do you need protein?
Protein is the building block of life. It helps us grow at cellular, repair and grow at cellular level. So it kind of keeps your cells, your bones, your hair, your skin. We are made of protein. We are made, everything we have, everything is made of protein.
That's what makes it so juicy.
That's what makes it so tasty, yes. If you want to move something, but yeah, no, and without it, we're losing, we lose our protein. We need to replace it, and yes, obviously, collagen forms a structure, but obviously there are lots of layers to that. It's not the only thing. Protein is what's going to keep you strong and resilient.
So we've got the protein source, and then we've got carbohydrates from obviously the
All
potato,
the vegetable and the pepper and the kidney beans.
Yeah.
and the onion and the tomato and the coriander and the spring onion. So they're all form of carbohydrates. Obviously the potato is one too. And we need carbohydrates. They should not be, all the carbohydrates here have come from vegetables. They've not come from grains, and nothing wrong with grains either. But you know, in terms of helping a midlife female, when we can get our carbohydrates from an array of vegetables, we've also got an array of vitamins and minerals going into our beautiful bodies.
Yeah. So this is,
and the saturated fats are low in here too, which also is we need to keep an eye on. Fats is one thing, saturated fats is another.
so in every meal, we should be making sure we've got protein source, a carbohydrate,
And a healthy fat where possible. There's always going to be some saturated fat. The saturated fat here comes from the beef, but it's minimal. And fibre, obviously fibre comes from our vegetables, and our gut thrives on fibre. We're going to add some extra fibre to ours, more than likely. This is a dish that for me, I like to see more green in my on my plate, but also fibre is what fills us along with protein. So we're going to add some, I've got kale and spinach, or just kale? Kale and
I've
spinach.
got kale and spinach.
So we'll just
some
add
nice
some
leafy greens that you've always telling me to have.
Yes. So yeah, leafy greens are really anti-inflammatory, and will help keep us fuller for longer. And you know, there's loads of nutrients, but not loads of calorific value. So it'll pad out and pimp up our plate.
Pimp it up.
Pimp up the plate. Like that one. Like you.
Does it get a fur coat and platforms?
No drawers.
Yeah. So this is literally thickening up really nicely. Don't have a clue what time is it, because I put the
25 past.
Okay, so the fries, certainly the ones on
Yes,
the bottom,
those ones
are done. They've actually had.
Can you see? Ooh. Can you see? You almost got those in your chops.
They're making me salivate. I think the salt and pepper on chips actually, like cooking them in salt and pepper makes a big difference, because I know everybody adds.
You can add flavouring to your chips if you want to.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can add flavouring to the chips if you want. You could add a jerk.
A jerk, yes. A jerk.
You can put Cajun in there as well. We talked about garlic and rosemary. She's back again.
I actually like it when she makes a comeback. Yeah. I think we put too much liquid in this.
You said to add a bit more.
It doesn't
This is
really
actually
matter.
this particular brand is actually quite a liquidy passata, I think.
Oh, you should have listened to me. So we might be eating this chili with a spoon.
How do you normally eat your chili? With a fork and knife? With a fork and knife?
What's a fork and knife? Is that
It's German.
a fork and knife? No, I mean this is not going to be sad to eat, even with all that sauce. Because there'll be more sauce on those chips.
No problem. We've got another potato in the oven.
Yes, this is only one of the potatoes.
Yes.
There is another one on the next 10 minutes behind those.
So there we have our chili con carne loaded fries, which I think, particularly at this time of year.
Do you think that's going to go any thicker, or do you think I'll place this up?
Could potentially leave it a little while longer. I don't think it's had 10 minutes really.
Is it not?
You could always add, if it's not doing that, you could always add some tomato puree, thicken it up. You could always add a tiny dash of corn flour.
This is when you're impatient, like me.
But we're really hungry. So yeah, you can float it.
Can I?
For the purposes of this, yes.
Okay, this is exciting.
Do you like the chips right underneath or on the side?
I need to be able to see them on my phone here. A bit of both. I've just got to put the chips on go through my head. Obviously other brands are available. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Look at that already. Oh, that's just makes me want to
Eat them.
dance around the kitchen though. This is exciting. Oh, is that really sad?
No.
over a few
Who doesn't
chips.
like chips?
But the key
Yes.
bit is, huh?
I'm going to say leave it on and we can leave it in.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do this to place top.
You could do this in the slow cooker if you wanted to, and you can do it however you like. Really, I'm sure you've all got your own recipe for a chili. Everybody's got a slightly different one, haven't they?
I think I've got all of it out there. I mean half is what I'm trying to
We
say.
can always ask them when you finish for photographic purposes. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's the spoon.
Thank you. This gives it loads of lovely
The
colour as
zing, good
well
colour,
as
zing,
flavour.
and it brings out the flavour in.
I don't know if
in the
anyone
rest
can
of the
see us
dish.
anymore, so I'm just going off the pan.
Good for your black eyes.
Yeah. So, if you look at that now, beyond the steam,
Can you see?
look at that.
Show that one as well.
Look
Show
at
them over there.
that. So yeah, so there you go. Sorry.
So you're alright, I can't wait for mine.
So chili loaded fries with a salsa on top in literally, well, with the chips,
And with
25
a bit
minutes.
of veg to the side, but you don't have to.
Yeah, and that is us done. Another recipe
No,
live.
no.
Yes, we're excited for lunch. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, chili loaded fries, another nourish to flourish meal based on the principles of your My Time for Change programme, which is
Nutrition and health and well-being for midlife and beyond. So my online programme is available to anyone, anywhere. We're coming up to week 4 of the current course. I have another course before the end of the year, and we're always after making sure that you're feeling your best, but you're also in your best shape. You're also feeling energised, you're nourished, and
like us.
and you've got all the tips and tricks that I have in my head and I like to share.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, thank you very much, and we'll
And
see
good night.
you next month, because I can't actually remember what date it is next month.
I can't either, but it'll be around the 3rd week, I think.
Okay, there we are. We're on the 3rd week. Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Bye.